Guys, welcome back to another episode of my podcast, Ashuza Talk. So, I'm really excited for this episode because I'm gonna be talking about my experience. I'm really taking a break, kind of taking a break in this episode from my normal topics that I have and discussions. I just felt like in order for me to continue, I want to just get this thing out of the way because communication is key, not silence. I thought silence is the key, but it doesn't work like that in life. Communication is the key. So let's talk about it. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to tell you guys that my sister is a liar. I'm not trying to tell you guys that I support rapists and everything. I do not do that. No, 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 no. I'm a Christian and I love every single person apart from LGBTQ, but I love every single person. So basically, a lot of things have been going on TikTok. A lot of misassumptions have been going on TikTok. And as you guys know me, I'm not the type of person who likes being walked on all over. No, thank you. And my confidence and me speaking up for myself, standing up for myself, is seen and translated as arrogant. If we bring out the definition of arrogant, you guys are gonna see that it does not suit me. And if you guys know me very well, you guys are gonna be like, that's not Jemima. So basically, you guys have been following me since I think 2022. Most of you guys have been following me since 2022. And in the beginning, when you guys started following me on TikTok, I had moved in. I had just moved in with my parents again because I had moved out because of my sister's situation. In support of my sister, I had moved out. But I just saw that it's not for me. I was still so young to live out there alone, DGD. So I moved back in with my family, with my parents. Me moving back in, it does not, I didn't see it as a way of not supporting my sister because I tried to do anything at that time because my sister's like 3 years older than me. I'm 3 years younger than my sister, so it's only much I can do, only much I can do. Whenever these things happened, I was so young, so I don't know what type of thing that an older person could have done that I no that couldn't have done that I could do. I don't know what you guys expected me to do. I'm really gonna cut to the chase because whenever you guys knew me, you guys have been following me. You guys know my morals. You guys know where I stand when it comes to certain situations. And I know you guys might be like, Jemima, we're so disappointed in you because they're my fans that have come in my comments and been like, Jemima, I'm so disappointed in you. One thing you guys should know, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm not gonna blame you guys for reacting the way you guys are reacting in this situation, because you guys are trying to do a good thing. You guys are trying to help. But in you guys helping, do not bring in disrespect in this. I do not like, and this is where I see what you guys mean by arrogance. I do not like being disrespected on things that do not make sense. The number one thing that I can tell you guys, I can assure you guys, is that we have been supporting our sister from the beginning. Yes, it might have been hard, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable for things that I've done that I think are wrong. I'm gonna hold myself accountable for them because I'm a human being. I don't get anything from being proud of me, like, no, everything is totally her fault. Look, we were young, and it's just so much you can do when you receive certain information about a person that you've been knowing as your father, growing up, since you were like, what, 5 months old, and you've known him as a father, and then this comes just like as a shocker to you, and then you're expected to react that fast. It's really hard. And when we're growing up, that's when we start realizing certain things, certain situations, and knowing what's right and wrong. But you guys sitting up there and judging, blaming me, the number one thing, when you look at the story of my sister when it came out on YouTube, we were not speaking to her when she posted this thing because she was angry, so she came out with the thing. Nobody attacked her. Nobody tried to silence her because my sister's the type of person who's gonna do whatever she wants to, khalas, and that's it. We let her. When she came back, we started speaking. We started still doing our videos. I introduced them to you guys, because however much people are like, just because we like you does not mean that we're gonna like all your family. Sadly, you do. You're forced. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you guys loved them. I'm really happy that you guys loved my siblings. But the thing we kept on showing you guys our family. Guys, we are a loving family despite what we have passed through. And just because we tell you guys our past and you guys use it against us, it doesn't really get to us, because my past specifically does not define who I am right now and does not define what I'm gonna become. So whatever we pass through, we still try to be there for our sister best way possible. Where do I hold myself accountable? Literally, I wouldn't maybe have brought up the conversation of bringing or talking to our stepdad, because I thought she's my big sister. Let me talk to her about it. Every single person does mistakes, so I asked about it. Girl, would you mind? What do you think if I take this step? So what do you think? She was okay with it. She was fine with it. And do not come in my comments and be like, you would have known better. You would have known. I cannot know better because I have never been raped. I don't know how it feels like. I don't know how people feel like when they have been raped. So for me, I just try to do my best by asking the person who's older than me and has knowledge of that thing. So when she was fine with it, I didn't see any problem in it. So but then it gets escalated and became a big deal, and that's where like everything came out and you guys found out about every single thing, right? And as I said in the beginning, I do not blame you guys. But where do I blame certain people? You guys running and abusing and saying, me too, I cut my family off. Me too, I did this, did yada yada. And then coming in our comment section, abusing us, telling us that you guys, you would have stand up by your sister, you would have done this. One thing you guys should know, it's so humane. You guys should know that you are not literally supposed to put yourself in a situation or in a place that you're not welcomed in. No, do not force life. If a person has said, I'm no longer part of your family, I'm no longer wanting you guys, I'm blocking you guys, what business do we have in everything? But you have to put yourself down and still look for her. Literally, this is where I say shush, because what do you mean? You guys say that you also cut your family members off. The last thing, if you cut a family or a person off, the last thing you want to do is hearing from those people again. But you guys are literally coming, you guys should go still reconcile with your sister. Why don't you want to give a person time to heal? Sometimes when we do something, so instead of taking a chill and literally breathing and thinking through things, we act when it's literally a volcano that's going on. You need to wait for that volcano to be done, for the fire to come down in order for you to settle stuff. I don't understand why you guys want me to tell you that thing. It's so självklart. It's like, of course, that, I don't know what that word is in English, but it's literally self-explanatory. Yes, it's so self-explanatory that if you're passing through something, the last person you want to see is the person that wronged you, Alessandro. So one thing you guys should know, who are hating in the Bible, this woman, when they brought this woman to Jesus, I think it's in the book of John chapter 8, when they brought this woman to Jesus Christ who had cheated, Jesus Christ told them, if you're not a sinner, you be the first to stone this woman. Nobody stoned the woman, because every single person in this world is a sinner. That we do mistakes, we do a lot of things that we're not proud of, that we're not happy with. But just because our situation is out there on the media, it does not mean that we're literally the people that crucified Jesus, because you guys are taking us as if we crucified Jesus. And the last thing that we did is just to try to understand and be there for a sister. But if you're not, being understood and you're just taken as a villain constantly, it reaches to a point that you become tired. You also get tired. You guys are sitting down blaming my mother, and I'm so embarrassed to all the people who call themselves parents and sitting down being like, I'm so disappointed your mother did. Yes, my mother, she might have done mistakes by staying with that man, as every single person. But one thing you guys know well is that love is such a strong thing. Love can make you kill a person. Love can make you kill anybody that's in your way. You guys know that too. And many of you guys speaking are the same people that are sitting down in the same situations, in the same relationships, that my mother went through. Thankfully, we do not live in that century anymore whereby you need to stay in marriage, you need to accept everything, and or else they're going to laugh at you. You guys know how it feels like to grow up in a family, in an African household. But you guys pretend and act as if it's so easy to grow up in an African household. Just because things are changing right now does not mean that things have changed in our mother. The one thing I can hold my mother accountable for is not being a mother when she needed to be a mother. What do I mean by that? And this is a lesson to all the parents out there. However much you're going to be like, Joina Chotogamba. Yes, I do have something to tell you. Because when a mother, like in David's situation, when David was silenced over the things that were happening to with his children, what did that create? It created hatred in Absalom, and he did the worst. But what happened to him? His death was brutal. So one thing we need to know as parents, silence is not always the key. Being afraid of your children is not something that can help you, but you're also causing those kids to also sin because you're not standing and putting them in their right place. It reached a point whereby my mother was so silent because she's afraid of hurting my sister. She's afraid of hurting my brother, to the point that those people could speak to my mother anyhow, and my mother needs to accept because she respects her children. She loves her children. She's alone now. She has divorced this man because she's divorced now. She's not together with my stepdad. But like, she was so afraid. She was walking on eggshells. Do not lose your voice as a mother just because you've done mistakes in life. At the end of the day, those are your children. You are called to be a leader. And just because, so my mom failed at that time, it does not mean that she cannot redeem herself. We're sinners, we ask God for forgiveness constantly. And the reason why we emphasized a lot on forgiveness is because I know you guys pass through a lot. I know many of you guys have a lot of stories to tell. You have a lot of things to talk about that you guys have passed through, but you don't have the courage to do it. You don't want to do it. You don't want to talk about it. So whenever you feel like a person has come out and spoken about a certain situation that you have passed through, you feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna hate every single person that hurt this person because they hurt me. Last time I checked, your problems, we're not the people that caused your problems. I'm sorry. And sometimes in life, we want to pinpoint fingers and try to blame other people for certain situation when we do not see where we also went wrong. Many of you guys are sitting down saying you guys are not real Christians, because how can you tell me you guys are praying to a God, but at the same time, you're the same people that are saying this to your sister? Last time I checked, we have been supporting our sister. Things we don't do every single thing in the open. And I tend to keep quiet when it comes to family stuff because there are many things that you guys do not know about our family. And as I just said, we try to be the best version of ourselves constantly. But just one thing you guys should know, I and my family, my siblings, my mom, so we do not get intimidated easily by people because the Bible tells us, do not be afraid of the person that can destroy the body alone, but be afraid of the person that can destroy the body and the spirit or the soul. So it's really important to know that the only person that we fear is God alone. And many of you guys can be like, but that's not how God works. That's not how God. You do not know God. You don't know God. God is the same person who told this prophet in the Bible, told him, I think it was Hosea, told him to go marry a prostitute. Yeah. And literally, when the prostitute cheated on Hosea, he was like, you need to go look for the prostitute again. So if you can tell me that that's the same God that you understand, I would call you a liar. You're a liar because nobody can understand God to the fullest. That's why every single day we live and we just try to be the best versions of ourselves. We ask God for forgiveness. The Bible tells us, forgive us for our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So that means as we forgive those who trespass against us, not forgive us our trespasses, because we do not want to forgive those who trespass against us, but for us still forgive us because mine is minor, theirs is bigger, this is D. Every single person is literally the same in front of God. If you're a liar, if you're a rapist, if you're a killer, if you're this, you're the same in front of God. If you ask for forgiveness and take accountability for whatever you've done, God is able to forgive you. That's the God that we serve. Many people can see that it's selfish, it's mad, it doesn't make sense, it's mental. Sadly, we don't have to pick and choose when it comes to the Bible, what we want and what we don't want. In this life, we need to forgive in order for us to have our own peace. Many of us think that forgiving is because oh my God, those people are gonna be fine if I forgive them. Let me hold my heart. Let me not forgive them or anything. Just know, sweetheart, you're just hurting yourself. You're not getting anything. Last time I checked, the same person, like let's take an example of my stepdad. My stepdad is living his life. He's happy in that state that he's in. He's happy. going on about his day. The only person who was stressed about the whole situation is my sister. That's why we were like, girl, you need to forgive and move on, because this guy, for him, is good. And we tried to go to court, girl. It didn't work out. So we don't have anything that we can do. We don't have what else can we do other than just forgive for your own peace. For your own peace. For every single person who's like, do not even mention forgiveness around her. You guys are not truly believers, because a believer cannot tell another person to not forgive, because it's through forgiveness that we also are forgiven. You cannot expect to be forgiven and you're not forgiving other people. It does not make sense. Guys, there are many people that have wronged us. You're the same people trying to say that you're trying to help, trying to call us snakes, but you're the same people going in my sister's comments being like, do not unblock them. Girl, good job. Me too, I blocked my family members. Lelele. It's fine to block your family members, but do not come then in our comment section and you're telling us you need to reconcile with your sister. How dare you guys? How dare you guys should not be happy. Your sister is there crying. You guys should our lives stop just because we did a mistake? Should our lives stop? No. Did your life stop when you did a mistake once? No, you picked up your things and moved on. Do not act like hypocrites. Guys, let's not be hypocrites in this situation. No, 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 no. Everybody here, we do mistakes. And one thing you guys should know, nobody is perfect. And that's why God called us. God loves us in our imperfection, because God is the same person that loved David in all his imperfection. He did a lot of stuff, but God still forgave him. God still loved him. But just because God forgave him and God loved him does not mean that the consequences did not appear in his life. The consequences did appear. His children killed themselves. They died. And he lived with sorrow. So one thing you should know about God, we do not need to think for him. We just need to live as we are called to do. You guys telling us that you should not stand and preach the word of God because you guys are hypocrites, you guys are doing this. Guys, if we put a torch in your heart, in your life, you're going to see that the situation that you're passing through is so worse, so much worse. But you're trying to not focus on your life and focusing on another person's life because their life is on social media. My things are private. Nobody knows about my things. Let me go and laugh about this person's situation. Today you're going to be laughing. Tomorrow you're going to be the person who's being laughed at, So just one thing that I usually tell people, do not hate a person, because as soon as you hate a person and always want bad things to happen to the person, that's when God is going to bless that person at it. It's going to hurt you so bad. So that's the thing that I wanted to tell you guys. If you guys are going to support me, support me. If you guys are not going to support me, I'm fine with that. I'm really fine with that. I'm not the one who begged you guys to follow me, who asked you guys to follow me. It was the grace of God. It was literally the grace of God that made you guys follow me. And right now, you guys know me. You guys know my family. You guys know our situation. You get to pick and choose whatever you want to move on with. If it's moving on with your life without me, without Jemima, without that arrogant girl, so be it. I'm not literally moved by any words that's being told about me. But one thing you guys should know, love your parents. Parents, you should be parents. And you guys should love your parents. Your parents have been through a lot of things that they do not tell you. They have passed through a lot. I've understood the point of a mother. I don't want to understand the meaning or the love of a mother when my mother is dead, is in the grave. I really want to, even if, yes, they say, oh my God, parents are also wrong, they can do this. Yes, they are wrong, but the Bible tells us that the God of this earth is literally our parents. So I'm going to, if you guys are going to hate me for loving and supporting my mother, hate me. Do it. But one thing you guys should know, I'm going to love my mother to the fullest. I'm going to support my mother to the fullest. I'm going to stand with those that stand with me to the fullest. And I'm going to ignore every single person that tries to tell me how to be as a Christian when all of us are literally the same and we do mistakes. I'm going to try to ignore you. I will be addressing every single thing because I'm not the person who's quiet about situations. I'm going to be speaking about everything. If you guys do not like it, that's okay. That's okay. If you do not like me, that's okay. Do not force yourself. And then when you're forcing yourself and it's not working, that's when you even hate me even more. I have accepted the fact that you guys will not like me the same. That's fine. But life moves on, guys. You're going to hate us. But what do you get from doing that? If you die today, where are you going to end up? Because your heart is going to be filled with anger, hatred. But try to first change your lives before you try to solve other people's problems. Because at the end of the day, this is family. This is not our first time to have like an outbreak. Maybe the public one, yeah. But we have solved a lot of things, and everything has its own time, and everything happens for a reason. That's one thing I can tell you guys. But I love you guys regardless. My haters, I cannot say that I love you, but I will try to love you. But I love those that support me, and my haters continue to hate on me because you guys are giving me, making me iconic. No, I'm just kidding. But that's all that I had to tell you guys. I will still, of course, 100% come back and clarify. But just know I'm not defined by whatever words you call me, whatever thing you call me, because you're calling me snake. But the Bible tells us to be as wise as the snake's children, or whatever you translate it as in English. So you need to be wise in the head, you know? Yeah. But I love you guys. All in all, I love you guys for supporting my sister. Thank you for being the good people as you are, because you guys listen with emotions, and you guys always go to the other side that shows so much emotions. And the reason why you will never see me show so much emotions in a negative way is because I don't feel like you guys deserve to see that side of me. But I still love you regardless, and thank you for tuning in this podcast. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys again next Friday. Do not forget to subscribe and follow me on Spotify, and just comment. Tell me whatever you think. That's why I leave my comments open for you guys. Tell me whatever you think. Insulting me is not going to change your life. It's not going to make you richer. Do something that's benefiting you. But if insulting me makes you feel better, makes you grow your hair out, make more money, khalas, then use me as a punching bag. But one thing you should know, if I see something is escalating, I'm going to come out and speak about it, because that's the type of person I am. Just so you know, continue loving your parents. Love them regardless of what. Love every single person that hates you, because that's the only thing that I would want them to do. Live longer so that they can see your elevation. What else should I tell you guys? I love you guys. I love my family. I love my siblings. I love them. All of them. So yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys again next week. Bye bye.